All right. So, Jimmy, thank you so much
Ah, it's my pleasure.
for agreeing to do this session with me. And you've been one of the the most influential musicians in my
Ah,
life. Yeah, I'm
well, that's
telling you.
very kind of
So
you.
I grew up when I became musically aware. In my teens, late teens, whatever. I had a band in the south of Germany. We were like semi-successful, we were like a funk band.
Oh, cool.
And instead of that was before YouTube or any social media. So what we would do, believe it or not, we would meet and listen to music. Can you be-
That's yeah.
can you believe that?
That's
Right?
almost a lost art.
It is a lost art. And so and there was a lot of Yellow Jackets on the turntable, and there was a lot of Matheny. There was a lot of Chick. There was a lot of that kind of stuff. And you were just an integral part of that sound,
I
with the Yellow
appreciate it.
Jackets, and we were always mesmerized. I remember we were sitting around, mesmerized by how the Yellow Jackets created this unique sound. There was definitely a unique sound about the Yellow Jackets. It was not just a quartet. By the way, I'm good friends with Mark Russo.
Oh,
He,
he's
he lives
great.
he lives close
Yes,
to me, so we were just like marveling at my God, like
he's a fabulous guy.
altissimo range on his alto
Oh,
sax, and one of the coolest guys I've ever met. So we walked the same mountain range in Walnut Creek. I meet him on the trail sometimes.
he's an awesome fellow.
Very very cool guy. So anyways, so the question I have is when you said goodbye to the Yellow Jackets, was that were there ever any regrets? You were playing with one of the most famous jazz groups in the world for a long time. You were really successful.
33 years.
33
Mhm.
years. You got multiple
There are
Grammys,
three Grammys
three
and like
Grammys,
20 some odd, well,
nominations.
17 or 18, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't just say goodbye to that easily.
No, it wasn't easy to do.
Mhm.
But, the fact that I was in the band for 33 years is a long time.
Mhm.
And this was around 2011. I was getting ready to turn 60. And I was getting a lot of solicitation to produce
Mhm.
and work on other projects and
Mhm.
do other tours. And I just started thinking about that. My daughter was turning 18.
Mhm.
It just seemed like the right thing to do at the time, but it was not an easy decision. It
Mhm.
took me at least a year back and forth, pondering what the hell I was doing. But when push came to shove, I made the decision to move on. And
Mhm.
I was very interested in producing, and I had already co produced and produced a lot of things. I think by that time I produced maybe like 70 records.
Already.
So, it was something that I felt was interesting, and I wanted to learn more. So I
Mhm.
needed more time.
Mhm.
I needed to open up my calendar.
Mhm. So it was just a natural progression
Yeah,
into something new. Were you looking for new
yeah, something
best,
new.
something new?
Yeah, and something that maybe would keep me at home
Yeah,
more too,
yeah, yeah,
because I was traveling quite a bit. I was talking to a guy the other day, and he said, "You traveled a lot." I said, "Yeah, I've probably traveled, around the world 20
yeah,
times. And a lot of it was with the Yellow Jackets in
yeah,
those 33
yeah.
years. But amazingly, while I was in the Yellow Jackets, I got to tour and perform with Al Jarreau, with Shaka Khan, with Bruce Hornsby.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I remember that.
yeah. And prior to the Yellow Jackets, I toured with Tom Scott
Mm-hmm.
in a band with Steve Kahn. I toured
Mm-hmm.
with Roy Ayers, who just
Just
passed
passed. Yeah,
away.
yeah.
I toured with Robin Ford, who started the Yellow Jackets. I was in this rock band called Blackjack that had a singer named Michael Bolton.
Yeah,
There was all kinds of
yeah, yeah.
things
The
going
Michael
on.
Bolton.
Yeah,
No
the Michael
kidding. Oh my
Bolton.
God. Uh,
So it was a lot going on, but then once the Yellow Jackets came in, that was pretty much 24/7. I
yeah.
was just focused on that. And then other things kind of slipped in and out of there. But by 2012, I had all this other opportunities. So I thought, why not
Why not
see what's going on? So
yeah, it's interesting, you know. I feel like I'm at a crossroads myself, and trying new things now, leaving old things behind that I know well. Getting older, you know, is what
that's
you
a
know.
part of it.
I want to expand. You know, I do not want to become smaller. I want to expand my social circle. I want to meet more people. I think getting older, a lot of people when they retire, you know, the world gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
It
You know, and
can do that.
it can
Yeah.
do that, and I do not want that. You know, I really want to stay open and expand. So I that's why I was curious about that. You know, what was your motivation? You know, to leave the Jackets. Um, since this, I'm producing this series with drummers, right? So
Yeah.
this is the fourth one with Gary.
With
now.
Gary Novak. Yeah.
Last question. You were with the Jackets. William Kennedy
Right.
was kind of the main drummer.
Pretty much, yeah. Ricky Lawson was the
Ricky
first
Lawson,
drummer.
and then who else played with you?
Well, Peter Erskine did a year
Peter did a year.
when William left. That was in '99. And then after that, we did a year of like 10 different drummers.
I remember that,
Yeah,
and
so-
it did not seem to lock.
Yeah, it was
So I was-
different.
I was
different.
I was. Last question is after William. I mean, you guys were just a unit, you know.
Yeah.
And the Jackets for me was really Mark Russo.
Chemistry was right.
The chemistry was right. The sound blended, you know, and it
I was really sad when Mark left.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
and he knows that.
yeah. So
I tried to talk him out of it, but he had some things going on that were really cool. So I understood that. And I've later, doing what I did, leaving the band, that made me even understand it more. And he's
Yeah.
fine.
yeah, no, he's fine. Yeah. So yeah, finding the right drummer that you can play with for me is the most important thing.
Oh yeah.
Personally, I've quit bands because of drummers that could not either play the way I heard or I wanted them to play, and I've stayed with bands a long time because of drummers. You know, so it seemed like my reincarnation. If that ever happens, I would be a drummer.
Oh,
or something,
nice.
You know, and that's how this idea was born to have these incredible world class drummers with different tunes.
It's all great.
Writing to their strengths as drummers. You know, I played with record with Ari Hoenig, which I
It's
consider
fantastic.
a fantastic straight ahead drummer. Now Gary's more in that what we recorded today. I had Gary Baldi on a funk tune.
He is
You know,
fantastic.
so writing to the drummer's strengths has been just really a great challenge for me to find the right music that caters to that. You know? So yeah. Anyways, so I'll let you go.
All right. Thank you.
Jimmy, thank you very much for being part
Thanks,
of this.
thanks for having
Really
me.
appreciate it.